Oh yeah, Taki, thank you so much for coming here.
How's everyone's Comic-Con so far? Hello, my name is Kyle Hill. I'm a science educator. I'm an Expanse evangelist. I'm your moderator today, and I'm currently trying to get a death cameo in season 5. I feel, it might happen. I feel very lucky to be here today because just over a little over a year ago, I was at the convention where the cast and crew found out in real time that the Amazon had picked up the Expanse for more seasons, and just a few months ago at San Diego Comic-Con, we gave you a release date, we showed you a little bit of the show, and today you have the nerdiest showrunner in Hollywood, I guarantee you. NAREN SHANKAR, everyone. Next you have your captain, Strait. Next, the best engineer this side of Ceres, Dom Tipper, everyone. Yeah. Your pilot and provider of the crispiest lasagna this side of Mars, ANVAR. Right now, she's probably your favorite politician, real or fictional, your queen, Shohreh Aghdashloo, everyone. Wow. You just can't buy that. Next, she's the badass Belta, who is downright lovely in real life, CARA, everyone. Next, we have a wonderful character actor making his way to season 4. Please welcome GORMAN, everyone. All right, so in case, I don't think I'm mistaken here, I'm pretty sure that's everyone, right? So let's just get to... Oh, wait, yeah, sorry, we saved the best for last, of course. Your hashtag murder snuggles, West Chatham, everyone. Don't be mad at me, Wes. Both Steven and I and Amazon thought that would be funny.
It was great. Yeah, that was lovely.
Dad jokes.
I forgot to introduce him at San Diego Comic-Con, so yeah.
You're all in on the joke now.
Don't boo me.
Boo him.
We just showed you the full episode. Booing. All right. Okay. Well. So, like we said, we don't have a ton of time before we get to all your burning questions, so I'm just going to ask some brief questions of the cast and crew here. First, I want to open it up to everyone on the panel. The Expanse is still flying. The fans are still here. We're going into season 4.
Yes!
How is everyone feeling? Anyone?
Fab, Carl, is the answer to that.
Amazing.
Fucking fabulous. How are you guys feeling?
Yeah.
Most importantly,
yeah, it's incredible that the show's back, and it feels like it's bigger and more expansive than ever in scope and scale. I couldn't help it. Stop blowing me! I'm right. Yeah, tough crowd. But let's start with you, NAREN. I've interviewed you like 5 times now, and you're notoriously vague with me. But what's something that will really wow fans this season? I mean, if that first episode wasn't enough, which was very wow-ish, last season for me is when the Belter kid was turned into pasta sauce. What can we expect in this season?
Please, come on, you're putting me
non-spoilery.
on like that, non-spoilery.
Give me something.
Well, I would say you're going to see a different side of Miller and perhaps a different shape of Miller.
Yeah, that unfortunately didn't win the Oscar that year.
No.
The Shape of Miller. I'm trying to get on their good side again.
Yeah, just watch the show, man.
I think the first episode was more than enough to get everyone's juices going. No?
Yeah. And so, speaking of how everyone is working together on the show in the new season, Dom casts Wes and Steven. You're a tight crew on and off screen, which
That's
I think
right.
fans know and love. And for season 4, you kind of have to branch out and rely on a whole nother planet and a much more wide cast. How do you strike the balance when your characters are so close and so tight-knit and you have to kind of put yourselves out there?
We just ignore everybody else in the cast. And we actually live together in Toronto in a little apartment.
Yeah, we all
just
share
to
a
get
bed.
and we all
yeah?
we share a
Big
bed.
one.
Really intimate.
Steven steals the covers.
I mean,
And
calling me out
awful.
again.
Cass snores.
I do snore.
He has terrible morning breath as well. Ugh.
Who's Big Spoon?
Who are?
NAREN's basement.
So, CARA, you had some breakout performances last season, and I think you've quickly become a fan favorite badass.
Yes! Thank you. That's so sweet.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you're killing it. I've seen the GIFs to prove it. There's a lot of GIFs on the internet of you. What can we expect from your character this season?
Oh, well, now we can talk about it because you guys have seen that. I've got that cool little med tech on my back, so I don't have to wear the robot legs, which is, a lot lighter for me.
Yeah, probably easier to move around and act
It's
in
a
that.
little, yeah, exactly. So we've got that going on. Of course, the ring gates opening up and what that means for the Belters is a huge part of what we explore this season. Because it means something different to everyone. I think that scene between Drummer and Naomi, that's like, goo.
Yeah.
Awkward. Like, how they're, it's like they have different points of view and a different way of sort of approaching how the nature of the universe has changed. And I think that's going to be so cool to see how that unfolds.
Yeah.
As we go.
Indeed,
Yes.
sir, madam. Indeed. Shohreh, we learned at the last Comic-Con, San Diego, that Amazon, I think we saw this, Amazon is giving you maybe a bit more leeway in your colorful language, let's say.
Finally!
Right?
So I want to take a little left turn here and ask you a question that James Lipton asks all of his guests at the end of Inside the Actors Studio. Shohreh, what is your favorite curse word?
Motherfucker.
Oh, man.
That voice. That voice.
There was something on that. There was some kind of spice on that one. I
That's
liked it.
invigorating.
Wow. Yeah, no, I don't have any follow-up questions. I just wanted to hear it. Byrne, you are no stranger to great science fiction. I especially loved you in Pacific Rim. What about being a part of The Expanse, and this season of The Expanse in particular, really excites you as an actor and coming into this?
Well, it was a
pressure.
bloody nightmare, I've got to say. Can we have a little round of applause for this amazing cast? It was a huge pleasure to join them for this adventure, and yeah, lots of exciting things happen. That's all I can say.
Wait, is it just me, or did he look like Ceres, the Hound of Hell, coming out of that fire? And that
Amazing, amazing.
Unbelievable!
I
What a great
loved
shot.
it.
Yeah, a lot of your characters have that same gait, I've noticed.
Well, the asshole gate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. Was I not clear?
Wait, what are you going to do? You've got to work with what God gives you, right?
And you're working it, Bernie. You're
Thank you.
working it. Working.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't want to deprive any of you all of your burning questions. So if you have stuff for the cast, before we get to it, if there's anything else anyone wants to say, we can open it up to the fans right away.
Questions.
All right, so there
Questions.
should be microphones around or someone to give you microphones, right? So if you raise your hand, someone will come to you with a microphone, and please make sure your question is a question and not just a statement. For example, you could ask, why does everyone have a beard in space now? Well, it's hard to trim in space in microgravity, and because all the hairs might get into sensitive equipment, so if you don't have the right vacuum equipment, you don't want to shave in space, and that's why they all have beards in space. That could be an example. That could be an example of a question.
Kyle, I don't have a beard in space.
Oh. I mean, you did cut a lot of your hair.
No, none of you are allowed to comment on it. It's my choice. It's happened. You have to accept it. The mohawk is gone.
Oh, I think we love it. So let's go to our first question over here. Hello.
Hello, I have a question. I saw the first episode of the new season you guys put up in Comic-Con, and I was wondering, how's it like to be in outer space?
What's it like? Let me redirect slightly, which is, I guess, how is it to act like you're in space? Because it can't be an easy thing. Not many people do it. And there are a lot of little tips and tricks I know you all have to make space feel spacey.
We're hoping to shoot on location next year. It's gonna be
Hey,
great.
do you know a guy who has like a rocket company?
Yeah, possibly. Possibly. Well, there's a lot of floaty arms, that's for sure.
I'm sorry, I've just seen the proto-molecule. Hi.
Yeah, try and be discreet with a glowing suit.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's great.
Oh, it's great? All right, awesome.
It's great.
Well,
Yeah,
It's floaty and stuff.
lots of floating.
I
We're
like
always
your core.
very cognizant of.
Stephen crosses his arms a lot so he doesn't have to do zero-G acting.
That's exactly right. No floaty arms.
Which we all want to
for
get him in a headlock for because he always picks the position first and then I'm like, shit, I can't have that one now. Okay, hands in pockets. So yeah.
we do blow a lot of takes because to keep in mind that we are in weightlessness and you do a scene and you're thinking, damn, I'm good in this scene. And you put down your whatever you're drinking, you put it down and you're like, God damn it, we're in zero G. You can't put the cup down.
Fucked it.
It's going to float in the air, so.
Yeah, it's the little things like that. It's the details that I think really make the show and the performances special. Thank you so much for your question.
oh, thank you very much.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, ma'am.
Nice. Let's turn over to here. And hello, what is your name? What's your question?
Hello, my name is Karen. Oh yeah, Taki. Thank you so much for coming here. My question is, what did you all, as showrunner, as cast and crew, find most ubiquitous, or rather mendacious, or polyglottal, or rather the word I'm looking for is challenging and also rewarding in the move to filming in locations and not just on studio sets? And also, are we going to see a little bit of the Baltimore plot line, I'm hoping, with Amos's backstory, and maybe Amos is back? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was a
we
lot.
are on Amazon now. And you get to see a lot more of Amos this season than we have in the past.
That's how we like it.
Yeah, so to the first part of that question that had a lot of
Challenging.
big words in it. How's it?
It was cold.
Very cold.
Yeah, so where were you for that when you were landing on that scene?
We were shooting in a quarry about an hour and a half outside of Toronto, so it is just this
Guys, it was
incredible.
so cold.
Yeah, it was freezing cold. It was desolate, but what you're seeing there when they're landing, the drone photography, that is what it looks like. It looks like an
Yeah,
alien
you didn't have to
place.
do much post work to make it look really alien.
Other than the proto-molecule ruins, yes, those are not there.
Yeah.
A funny story, you know, you were talking about burning his look when he's walking through. So his first day of shooting, he had the red eye from London. He got there. They drive him straight in the middle while it's still dark of this quarry. He has his pants open, obviously. He has all this wet blood, and he's all beat up, and he's walking. The sun's coming up. It is freezing, and he's walking through this thing. And I'm a morning person, you know. I'm in a good. And I'm like, hey, Burn is so good to me. And he slowly turns around like, what did I just sign up for? It's freezing. I don't have any clothes on, and this guy wants to be my friend, and you know.
I'm the only Canadian on this cast, and so you might notice I was wearing. Oh no, no, that's true. That's true. No, Cara. We're the only Canadians on this cast, and you notice I got to wear my toque in the opening shot there because I knew it was coming.
That means hat.
And they cursed me. And they're like, you damn you.
When I got that script for episode 1 and Drummer was very against the idea of going down to the planet, I was like, yes! Fuck yes, I'm in my spaceship. Bitches.
Just the fact that you can say that is pretty awesome, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm in my spaceship. I'm good.
Yeah. Bitches.
Fantastic. Next question over here, please.
So huge, don't ignore the rest of you. Huge fan. I'm going to be watching. But Burn, Loved you in Torchwood. Is there going to be more? And can we expect you back as Owen?
Never say never. I mean, I don't know. Thank you, yes. But back to the Expanse. I feel that...
There might be more of what... There might be more, but also, he's going to be on this show.
I can't wait to hear more of it.
Thanks.
This was the first episode I get to watch, and I'm really excited to be a fan now.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
You
I
redeemed
appreciate
yourself
that.
there.
Yeah.
Well done.
Welcome to the family.
You definitely redeemed yourself.
Yeah, there's something about this show where it doesn't take much to really hook you into the world. I think the world building of it is really, really great. I always mention the first moment where I knew like the show had me was when Shed lost his head, but the pool of blood was spherical because it was in microgravity. I was like, yes, I understand why that makes sense, and that was great. That was great. Over here, next question.
Hi, do you guys ever stop and think about the legacy that the show is going to have? I know there's a lot of scientists, physicists that love the show now. But you ever imagine in 20 years that people are going to come up to you and be like, I became an astronaut or a scientist because of this show?
I hope so.
Oh, me too.
That's,
That would be
that's the
amazing.
dream.
I was inspired when I was a kid by Star Trek, and part of what made me want to be an engineer initially. And if this show has that kind of effect on people, I mean, in any field, politics, whatever they want to go into, it's like this is, you know, that's why you make something, and if it's around and people are talking about it in 20 years, that's amazing.
So thank you so much for your question. Next question over here.
Hi, everyone. Awesome show. My question is, where did the Belter language come from, and how do the actors who play Belters all learn this same fake accent?
So wait, you see what just happened there? So he asked a question, and then the person behind him collapsed because you asked his question. And now what is he gonna say?
You can say it too if you want.
Yeah, you can ask it too.
We're gonna go over there first. So you have a minute or two. But where did Belta patois come from?
Well, we work with a dialect coach, so that's a huge part of it. I meet with our dialect coach before every single episode. So, because unlike when you're doing other dialects where you could watch a film, you know, or another, like a news station, if you're doing like a British accent, you could watch some British film. You can't do that with this accent. So we have to like really work diligently to keep it consistent, especially when we go, you know, a year between shooting something. So to come back to that, we have that as a resource. I mean,
Ty and Daniel,
Yeah.
Ty Frank and Daniel Abraham, who are collectively James S.A. Corey, who wrote the books, they modeled the Belter language on the Greek fishermen's languages in the Mediterranean, where people would sign to each other in a sort of a polyglot kind of a fashion, and it's a constructed thing. It was Nick Farmer helped us with it. He's a linguist and designed it and built pieces of. It's got a lot of different elements in it from all sorts of different languages, and everybody comes at it with a different accent, and everybody makes their dialect kind of their own. But that's how it came.
Because the belt's huge, isn't it? So there's all different versions of it, which is why you hear everyone doing different ones in the show.
Yeah, and nothing really on TV sounds quite like it. I think it's really distinct and cool. You didn't have anything. Next question.
Hi, my name is Dakota, and I just want to ask, what about space or sci-fi kind of appeals to you guys, if it does at all? I don't know if that question makes sense.
No, that makes sense, yeah.
It does not appeal to me in any way.
Just a paycheck. Look, I'm here.
I think if we're talking about the genre specifically, it's always been something that's pushed boundaries, especially in representation. And I think our show is part of being at the forefront of it, and it just allows us to approach humanity in a different way because it's set in the future. So I think it's one of the best genres out there in terms of having a cast that looks like this.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing that I've always really loved about sci-fi is that you can use it allegorically in a very poignant way. And you can talk about very prescient things that could be very divisive in a way that's digestible for a larger audience. And I think, you know, especially today, that's a very important thing to be able to do and to start those conversations.
Yeah. Great. All right. I hope it's a good one, man.
Yes,
It better be.
As far as the politics goes, where do y'all get the insight and the I guess, reference in how to bring in the politics in the show.
Yeah, I mean, that is something that you have to be pretty careful about. Like, where are you pulling from? Where do you feel the line is, and how do you show it?
We tend to pull a lot from the sad and bloody history of humanity. There's a lot of historical reference points in the show, whether it's military or economic or expansionist or colonization. It's all over the place. I mean, we talked about World War I was a good reference point for the first season. Now we're talking about the European invasion of North America. Is like there are elements of that now that we're talking about, and there are more to come. So we kind of pull from everywhere.
And I think that that's why having such a diverse cast is such a huge asset to this story, because we all bring our various perspectives and our unique points of view to this story politically. I'm an Indigenous woman, and so for me, of course, I'm going to look at the Belter issues sort of from that perspective. And I think that that's part of what makes this story so special.
Yeah. All right. I think we have time for maybe 2 more. Sorry, everyone. You got to see a full episode, so. Next question.
Hi, everyone. Absolutely huge fan of the show. Love the attention to detail every episode has, especially the throwback to the Tachi gear, as well as Holden's zine for the cancer drug. So I was just wondering, does it ever get confusing to keep track of all of the details that are necessary for each character going through all the seasons?
Oh, yeah.
Well, NAREN, you come from, the next generation, so you must have some kind of mind for this, right?
I think this is substantially more detailed than that.
Really?
I think so. I mean, in terms of the minutia of it, and we did a lot on Next Generation, but there are tons of little elements that get tracked, and we police ourselves on them too. I mean,
and it's just as a fan of the writing, there's nothing superfluous within the writing, and the books are so meticulously plotted out. There's nothing that isn't important in this, no matter how small the detail. So we're always very cognizant of making sure that those things stay true.
Holden's anti-cancer drugs in the beginning, that's important. I mean, that's why it's in there, but yeah, the little details are
And NAREN is uniquely qualified to be the showrunner of this show because of his educational background, and he constantly gets emails by me, and it's like, well, so wait a minute, so was I the, and he has to keep track of all of our small details of everything that's going on, also the science of the show, and I mean, we're very lucky to have somebody like him to watch over those.
Very lucky.
Yeah. You miss are going to be our last question today.
That works for me. Thank you.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey,
like
everyone.
your
What
outfit.
up? Thank you. I worked really hard on it.
It's great.
So my question is, if you had a legitimately salvaged MCRN Corvette, what would you name it?
Is this a trick question?
It's not a trick question. You can answer whatever you want.
Screaming Firehawk.
Yeah. Yeah. The tipper truck. That tickle you.
That one got me, yeah.
The hell?
Tipper truck.
I'm gonna go with that one. That was really funny. Yeah.
That tippity top, something like that. Yeah. So, and again, I'm sorry we can't get to everyone's questions, but you can go to Amazon.com/The Expanse to get some brand new merch. You can follow Expanse on at Expanse on Prime for all the updates for everything. The new season drops on December 13th, and you can now watch all of the seasons streaming on Amazon. Please give a huge round of applause for the cast and crew. Thank you, everyone, so much for being here.